All right, bye. 3, 2, 1. All right, welcome everyone back to Pool Boys episode 52. And if you are watching, you can see it. You can see something's different, but if you're not, Mel Nivam, he got tired. He needed a break. That's really what would happen. So I gave him the day off. It's fair. He just comes onto the podcast, just speaks bullshit for a couple hours, and then goes off. That's all it really does. So I gave him the day off. So we have Billy Rockamp, Billy, one of the best ever, and Zach Lasky. What's going on, guys?
What's up?
I'm happy I got some people to fill in for the role. If you want to just play the Liam role, just say nothing, and when I need to say something, just say nothing.
I'll play the Patriots fan role.
But yeah, here's a quote that he said. He said, and I quote, "Taking a week off. We've been doing this for 3 straight months. Every pod's got to have a cool down." So, it's been a lot. 3 months of just talking for an hour every day.
Hey, I don't want to say anything, but you guys had tons of cool downs.
Yeah.
Yes, this is true.
Listen, I wanted to do 2 episodes a week, and he turned that shit down real quick. So just imagine we're doing that. We'd have to have a cool down maybe once a month.
Hey, I did that for a month, and then everybody dropped on me except for myself. So I've been there. Trust me.
Yeah, but Liam, you gotta give him his breaks, or else he's gonna do Liam stuff. So, I'm not gonna be making fun of him now. That's low of me. But NFL Week 12, great NFL week. Texans beat the Lions on Thanksgiving, 41-25. Both teams are now 4-7. I had some hope for the Lions going into the season, for the last couple weeks ago, and they failed every expectation. I mean, the Lions fucking suck, or the defense fucking sucks. That's why Patricia got fired.
I mean, the Texans did so well that their best wide receiver was tested as for steroids after the game. So.
Yeah, Flo had a fucking amazing game, and Roby too. Roby also got tested for steroids, so it was all around right there. But I mean, it's crazy how you're a defensive coach, you got brought in to help this defense because the Lions' offense is good. Matt Stafford had a fine game, 245 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 109 total rushing yards for the team, and the defense just fucking gets roasted by Deshaun Watson. And Matt Patricia's gone. Matt Patricia was such a shitty head coach. Thank God he's gone for that team.
I gotta say though, the one thing about that team, I feel like Detroit has constantly been hit with such bad luck. Yeah, he wasn't a great coach, but even early, not this season, but early, if you remember, I think his first season, 5 games they lost by a total of it was 15 points or something like that to start off the season. And then ever since then, it's just kind of been going downwards. But yeah, no, I mean, you got to move on. When it's not working, it's not working.
I mean, they're starting running back DeAndre Swift gets a concussion in practice. And then the Thanksgiving day, their 2 backup running backs, Kerryon Johnson and the other guy, they fumbled twice.
Oh.
No, Adrian Peterson didn't fumble, but they had another guy that fumbled.
Agnew. No, I don't know.
Nah, it was a 3rd-string running back.
But so yeah, the Texans are kind of good. I don't really know how to think about them. Their offense is fine. It's just their defense kind of sucks too. I guess we can move on. Also, Romeo Crennel. If he wasn't 73 years old, he should probably get a head coach job after this, but he's too old to get a job. Washington football team beat the Cowboys 41-16. This is a big game for me and Zach as Giant fans.
True.
It made my Thanksgiving. The funny thing was this game was very close throughout the whole thing. It was a 20-16 game. Washington led, and it took I think 9 minutes for Washington to take a 20-point lead. It was a great game for me.
So when are we skipping to the fake punt?
It was. I never seen an end around punt, fake punt attempt. It was ridiculous. 10 yards. You had to get 10 yards. They did an end around on a punt.
How can you get 10 yards when the guy who got the end around ran back 15?
Hey, it's all about catching the defense off guard. I'm sure the defense did not see that one coming.
Oh, you mean the number 1 defense in the NFL, the Washington football team? No. Mike McCarthy. There is a competition I might do at the end of the year. Who's the dumbest coach? Mike McCarthy is definitely one of those candidates because he is just not. This is not the first time he's done a very dumb punt fake.
Is Bill O'Brien in there?
No, he's more of a dumb GM than a dumb coach.
True.
And he got fired, so that helps his case. Let's see what else happened. Washington only let up a total of 247 yards, had 2 turnovers, Cowboys only had 13 total first downs. I'm kind of scared of Washington. I think with Giants right now would have no quarterback, the Washington team might make a run and take that first place spot.
2 best teams in the NFC East are Washington and the Giants. Philadelphia's a joke, and Dallas is a joke. I've been saying it for a couple of weeks. I think Washington's defense, honestly, it's hard to say, but they're a sleeper, along with the Giants, I believe. I think the 2 teams, even if Dallas was healthy with Dak, I still think it would have been a lot closer than people wanted to believe, because I don't really think that Dallas team was that good. Their defense obviously wasn't. The only thing that was keeping them in games was Prescott.
Yeah.
Obviously got hurt, and
But 3 touchdowns in total 9 minutes. That fucking pick 6. I mean, there was I think JJ Watt also had. There's 2 fucking D-line picks. You just can't let that happen.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Sunday games. Titans beat the Colts 45-26. Titans now 8-3. Colts now 7-4. A huge game for the AFC South. The both teams now 1-1 against each other, so that ends any advantage there if they do tie. I'm also convinced AJ Brown's the best wide receiver in the league behind Tyreek Hill. I mean, I said it last week. He's a Derrick Henry wide receiver. He has all the speed and has all the strength. He can do everything he can, and he gets fucking crazy plays. I mean, AJ Brown's fucking amazing.
Was it this week or last week he had the touchdown where he just refused to go down?
That was last week. This week he had I think he had a 70-yard touchdown.
Right.
Just using straight speed. So that's why he's the Derrick Henry of running backs, of receivers.
Derrick Henry gets 3 touchdowns in the first half.
No.
It's officially Tractor Cedo season. Tractor Cedo season is when the defense does not want to tackle Derrick Henry anymore. So he just gets a shit ton of yards and a shit ton of touchdowns. That's why last year, I remember last year, he wasn't even close to leading the league in rushing yards. But as the year goes on, people don't want to tackle him, and he gets all these yards. So the Colts, I don't know really much about the Colts. I don't know what to think of the Colts. Like just 2 weeks ago, they did the same thing to what the Titans did to them this week, and now they're getting killed. I don't really trust Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers is kind of a huge question mark himself. So the Colts are kind of and their defense didn't show up either. They're supposed to have a really good defense, and
I feel like that's the consistency throughout the league, is that there's a lot of teams who are just you could kind of like them, but also not really. The only standout is the Chiefs. That's only because they won the Super Bowl, because if you really want to be serious, their defense isn't wowing either.
It's just their offense is
offense is just that good. So it's a little crazy when you look at the entire league and go, wow, there really isn't anybody else outside the Chiefs that makes you really start to question.
Yeah, I want to see the Chiefs offense versus the Steelers defense. I think the Steelers have the best defense.
They have the best defense. I said this though. I don't think the Steelers stand a chance against the Chiefs.
Me neither.
I think the Chiefs kill them.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Steelers make it out of the first round.
Big Ben would have to have an incredible game, flawless, no mistakes, and then their wide receivers would have to show up.
I think it's a little concerning that they have to use Jacoby Brissett now every time they want to run the ball with the quarterback. He had 2 rushing touchdowns, and he had 2 passes, so they might be doing Jalen Hurts situation here and start use Jacoby Brissett a little bit more. Patriots beat the Cardinals 2017. The Patriots now 5-6. Cardinals 6-5. We will now take it on to Mal for. Oh shit, he's not here. The Patriots suck. I mean, this was not a good game for them. Cam only had the offense only had 179 total yards. Cam had 84 passing yards and 2 interceptions. The Patriots suck. This was nothing.
They suck, but they somehow come away with these 3-point wins these past couple weeks, and it's just I don't even know. They get the ball down the field late in the fourth quarter, and Nick Folk keeps on kicking these game-winning field goals. They're getting lucky.
Former Jet, Nick Folk.
If they have I think it's 10 players that opted out for the season on their defense, I think that completely changes them. I don't think they're that terrible to the point that if you give them those 10 players, those 10 starters that they're missing, they're probably a playoff team. They're not better than Miami.
I don't know. Their defense,
it's close.
It's their defense. Their defense is good. Their defense will definitely be 1,000 times better, but their offense just sucks.
Sure.
Cam Newton's just not a good quarterback anymore.
Their defense got cooked by the Jets.
Their defense did get cooked by the Jets, yes. But they didn't have all their stars.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, the Cardinals really aren't that good of a team either, if you think about it. They were one Hail Mary away, one Hail Mary drop away from being be on a 4-game losing streak.
It's the inconsistency again. I think like they don't wow you. I think more because they're a younger team. Like they're not consistent enough because they're young. But I do think they're gonna be. It's weird because as much as we say that, they could also still win their division, which is arguably the toughest division in football. So it's kind of crazy. Like either way you go, I think they're better than the Rams. 2 weeks ago, I'd take them over the Rams. The Rams just lost to the Niners.
Yeah, I know. I still have some hope in them. I think the Niners can be a fun team. I'll save it for later, but I have some hope from a high expectation for the Niners.
Yeah, regardless,
I don't think the Cardinals are very good. I don't think they're making the playoffs this year.
Wow, you've been on it, Kyler Murray. You've been saying that Kyler Murray is not as good as you think.
We have to ask the question. We have a daily question or a weekly question. Was Kyler Murray good this week? And the answer is hold up. No, he wasn't. He was not a good quarterback. He had only 170 passing yards and 31 total rushing yards. That was not a good week for him. Kyler Murray has to be better than that, especially with his team. Like Kyler Murray legit has to like 350 yards every game in order for this team to win. Also, they're 2 games out. I mean, San Francisco is 1 game behind them right now. So I think just San Francisco might make a run. That's all I'm saying.
I think it's fair to say that, but no.
I like San Francisco. I'll get to them when we get to them, but I like San Francisco. Next game, Bills beat the Chargers 27-17. Usually I like to say the big parts of the game for the end, but I just want to say this, like from the bottom of my heart. Anthony Lynn is the dumbest coach in the NFL. He is so bad at coaching. I mean, so they had 2 Hail Mary attempts. Buffalo let him have 2 Hail Marys. They have to fix the Hail Mary situation because they just suck at Hail Marys apparently. But they got 1 Hail Mary, got called back. They did a Hail Mary later. They got that. They spiked the ball and they fucking run the ball with like 6 seconds left in the game. That was horrible. You just can't do that with no timeouts left. And of course, he got stuffed. They did a fucking, and then Anthony Lynn does his signature goal line fade that doesn't work out. And then they ran a quarterback rush where the whole offensive line thought it was a pass play. They were trying to kill Justin Herbert. Anthony Lynn is not a coach. He hasn't got fired. I don't know how he hasn't got fired yet. Thoughts on the Chargers Bills?
I don't know. So Buffalo is also like another one of those teams that are kind of inconsistent.
Watch it. don't say anything bad about Josh Allen. That's all I'll say.
I'm not gonna. I like Allen. I think he's very good. But they are one of those teams that are inconsistent.
Their defense sucks.
Yeah,
I'm forced to like Josh Allen. Maybe because he's on my fantasy team, but you know what? I like what he did. I like that he got hurt. He came back in the game. I wasn't quite sure.
He 1,000,000% broke his ankle in that play. I don't know how that ankle still works.
I wasn't watching the game at that point, but when I saw that he came back in and they didn't score, but it was like 3rd and long at that point. But I like Josh Allen.
Sorry, I just saw Kyle Schwarber did get non-tendered. It's crazy.
I saw that. That's wild.
So Josh Allen, that team's there. I want the Bills to be good, but somehow I don't know what happened to that team. The defense was amazing last year. It was the offense that was the problem. No, this year it's completely opposite.
Yeah.
Let's see. We can move on to the Browns Jags. What a game this was. The Browns beat the Jags 27-25. Browns now 8-3. Jags are 1-10. I always forget Mike Glenn's still in the NFL. He always finds a spot. He'll play a couple of snaps every there, then and there. But this time he started. And he didn't do bad. 235 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. You take that from Mike Glennon.
It's wowing to me. Because it's the 2 teams. So the 2 teams in the same division between Cleveland and Pittsburgh. Everybody loves them so much, and it is wowing to me. Not so much Cleveland, but definitely Pittsburgh. They both have very, very easy schedules, and Cleveland 8-3 but can barely beat.
It's not a good 8-3. They don't have a good record.
Ugly 8-3.
The Ravens
Baker Mayfield. If it wasn't for Carson Wentz sucking, Baker Mayfield might be the worst quarterback in the NFL behind him. Baker Mayfield sucks. Sucks. And that pass that he missed when I think it was a tight end wide open, That was bad. That's some shit you see from a backup.
They've gone like. I feel like a couple of those games have gone lucky. They could have easily lost to the Cowboys. They could have easily lost this game to the Jaguars, but they find a way to like come out with these wins. And last week they beat the Texans by 3 points.
Well, that's because they have like the best running back duo in the NFL with fucking Chubb and Hunt. They had 206 total rushing yards. They just run through everyone's team. It's a deadly combo of those two. So yeah, Falcons beat the Raiders 4-6. This was a shit game. I mean, the Raiders, man, the Raiders just lost 2 straight games now. I don't know how this happened. I mean, no, yeah, I really don't know how this happened. The Raiders.
Julio Jones wasn't even playing.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. Oh yeah, I guess that does matter. I was thinking of the wrong team, but yeah, Julio Jones wasn't playing. I mean, I really don't have anything for this game. This is just crazy.
It's crazy because, like, I really feel like if the Raiders somehow go to the playoffs, they might be the one team who could actually beat the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah, they did already.
Yeah, which is insane because when you look at the teams that they've lost to this season, it's kind of just like, huh? How do you get roughed up by a team that doesn't have the best player on their team? Like, destroyed.
Yeah. The only good part of this game, we got to see the GOAT. Nathan Peterman play. That was cool. I love all Nathan Peterman sighting. But for Atlanta, I mean, Raheem Morris might get he's the head coach right now. He might get the job. He seems pretty good as the coach. So I mean, I would keep him on if I was the Falcons. Why not? Now this was the game that I think everyone was paying attention to. This was the craziest game. Saints beat the Broncos 31-3. I mean, I'm being serious. I thought this game was amazing. The Saints, I mean, I don't understand how the NFL made this game go on. They could have easily postponed this game because, like, just look at the Ravens-Steelers game. They postponed that game. Why don't they postpone this game where like their whole team is like, I mean, their whole like quarterback staff is out? You gotta do something here and postpone it.
Nah, it's just like they wanted to see. It was a test. They wanted to see how good a team can do without a single quarterback playing. They wanted a backup fucking wide receiver playing. As well.
Yeah, I mean, Kendall hit. I mean, he did fine. 1 for 9, 2 interceptions. That's fine.
Didn't have a completion in the first half.
They should have let him throw the ball more. What do you have left to lose if you're the Broncos?
Pride.
Yeah.
No, that was very stupid by NFL. I don't know how to let that game go on. That's a game you just like you just postpone a couple of days. Let the Broncos get at least one quarterback on their team.
I think it's because you have to hit a certain number of cases, and like because Baltimore had like 30 or something, like that 30 between players and staff.
No, that's not. It's not even that. They would have let them play. It's the fact that they didn't test positive for 2 days. It's like if you don't test positive for 2 days straight, then you can't play. That's basically how that works.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's because the Broncos tested positive for 2 days straight, even though none of the Bronco players actually, I think none of the quarterbacks really tested positive. It's because they were in close contact with the person who tested positive.
Yeah,
so that's where it was really weird. They probably should have done something to prevent that.
The NFL just wanted to see Kendall Hinton go out it with Taysom Hill.
I mean, Taysom Hill fucking sucks still. Fuck Taysom Hill. I hate Taysom Hill so much. I hate Drew Brees. I hate Taysom Hill 1,000 times more.
Hey, Saints fans believe he's the future quarterback of their team. A guy who before the season
he fucking sucked.
Yeah, a guy before the season who threw what was it? I think two completed passes in his entire career, and was a quarterback who only goes in when they want to do trick play. So he's throwing to wide open people. But yeah, he's the future of your team.
I think it's so disrespectful of the fact that Jameis Winston isn't starting on this team. That's so disrespectful to Jameis. Jameis Winston can easily start for this team, but nope. They're going to let this fucking one-trick pony do this job.
Well, when you sign a guy for, I think it's 3 years, right, was the contract, the Saints kind of, they kind of handcuffed themselves. So that's why Winston won't get it, because he's their quarterback after Breeze, for good or for worse. For worse, probably. Yeah, definitely for worse.
Fuck the NFL. That's all we have to say. I don't know. This is such a stupid game. Sure, that ever happened. Next game, the Vikings beat the Panthers 28-27. Vikings now 5-6. Panthers are 4-8. I mean, the Vikings are going to. I think the Vikings are making the playoffs. I think the Vikings have the offensive weapons to make the playoffs.
What's their record?
They're 5-6. They're the same record as the 49ers. One game behind the Cardinals.
Did you see the ending of that game? That game was wild.
It was.
Like the Vikings scored with like a little bit of time left. And
Well, the craziest part was what's his name? There was like one guy who he dropped the punt and then catch the game-winning touchdown. The game-winning touchdown. So that was pretty cool. Bebe, I think it was Bebe. I don't know what his name was, but then they got the fucking deep pass from Bridgewater to Samuel, and then they spiked it, and then Joey Sly. Here's a stat for you. I think this is true. Joey Sly in the last 6 games has attempted 6 game-winning or tying field goals, and has only made 3 of them. And the 3 he missed were all 50. And the 3
from like 50 to 60 yards.
Yeah, so the 3 he missed were all from 50 to 60 yards. So they are legit screwing Joey Sly right now.
They get like barely to the line that like you need on like the TV, and then they say, "All right, go out there and kick a 60-yard field goal for the win," and it's nowhere even close every single time.
Man, Joey Sly, man, he's getting a lot of good situations for Joey Sly. But I mean, Kirk Cousins had his best game of the year: 307 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Didn't have Adam Thielen either.
Overrated Kirk.
He is overrated, but I don't hate Kirk. I think he got way too much money, but he's a fine player in my opinion.
I don't know. I mean, I stopped watching him. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yep. I just saw that. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll try and save that.
Okay.
We'll try and save that.
Shit. I completely lost what I was gonna say. Yeah, I don't know. I stopped following him after the Redskins, so I can't really tell you much on the Vikings. All I know is I remember him kneeling when he's supposed to spike the ball. So, that's not my quarterback and will never be my quarterback.
Is it bad that I don't know?
No, he's just an average quarterback. That's all it is.
Woj.
Oh, okay. Yeah, now I see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I said, I'm pretty like the Vikings have a pretty easy schedule. They can easily go 8-8 and make the playoffs. I think they have the Jags, Bucks, Bears, Saints, and Lions. They can probably go 3 through those 5 games and probably make the playoffs at 8-8. Just saying. But yeah, this was a good game. We kind of talked about it already. 49ers beat the Rams 23-20. I really do think the 49ers, if they're getting their players back, if they get Greg Kittle or George Kittle back, they can probably make the playoffs.
I'm not going to disagree. I'm just going to say, like, I don't know, because I've watched them. Their defense is kind of inconsistent, and
Nick Mullins is not consistent at all.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's very subjective. It all falls down to, once again, I said as soon as Bosa went down, the whole season revolves around whether or not Garoppolo is actually the quarterback they're paying him to be. And we're going to see it again if he comes back.
I think he might be after the year, so I don't know if he's even going to prove that. Yeah, they legit have to make the playoffs in order for him to come back, I think.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then, all right. I don't know.
They versed the Cardinals and the Seahawks the last 2 weeks of the season, so they basically have to win both of those games.
That's true. That's gonna be big. For the Rams, though, I mean, I'm a Jared Goff fan. 2 interceptions, not the best, not a good game for them. They lost with a field goal. What are you gonna do? They're gonna probably come back. They're gonna come back next week and get it. They're gonna destroy the Cardinals. I think they're versus the Cardinals next week, so they're gonna probably get an easy win in Arizona.
Very ugly game between the two teams. It was turnover central for the first half of the game. Both teams couldn't hold on to the ball. It's crazy. I think, what was it? Goff threw an interception, and then the Niners on one play fumbled it, and then the Rams got it back. It was ridiculous.
And then the Nick Mullins interception was not good either. Aaron Donald's fucking tipped in and it goes right into their hand. Yeah. They got Raheem Morris and Deebo Samuel back. The 49ers are going to be sneaky. I'm just saying. That's all I'm going to say about the 49ers. Chiefs, Bucks. Chiefs beat the Bucks 27-24. Chiefs are now 10-1. Bucks are 7-5. Tyreek Hill is the best receiver in the league. I mean, I don't care.
Over
He's
Hopkins?
so fucking fast.
Over Hopkins? I can't put him over Hopkins.
Hopkins,
give Hopkins Patrick Mahomes, forget about it. That's all
true.
I'm going to say.
Give anyone to Patrick Mahomes, forget about it. But I mean, I think just the fact that Tyreek Hill is the fastest person alive is the fact why he should be the number 1 receiver. And he has
I wanted him to break the NFL receiving record in a game so badly.
So close. He had 269 yards.
I know, 203 in the first quarter, and the record was 326. And I was like, okay. He has the potential to do this. A couple more Hail Marys.
He could have got it. He really could have gotten it. It was such a shame. But yeah, the Chiefs, the offense is so unfair. I mean, at the same time, like Kelsey had a great game too. People don't even realize that because Travis, Tyreek Hill had 269 total yards.
Yeah.
So, Tampa Bay though, I mean, Tampa Bay is kind of like is the same with the Colts. Like, what the fuck is on with Tampa Bay? Tom Brady just loves to throw picks now. I think Bruce Arians just has an offense where his quarterbacks throw picks. You saw Jameis Winston last year throw like 35 picks. Now Tom Brady's throwing multiple picks a game. The Tampa Bay team is very confusing.
Hey, they could have done us a favor and just laid a fat goose egg against
Well,
us.
we lost because of the rest. That's obvious.
Well, this is true, but I mean, they didn't help though. They actually played a half decent game, and then ever since then, they've just been gone. And I don't know. Again, it wows me how just every team that was supposed to be these top tier contenders are just kind of like meh. They're
beatable. Yeah, they're beatable.
Yeah, I've seen better teams. Last season, the Niners are the best team in the league, I think. If you take last season Niners, they're the best team in the league, ahead of everybody, including Kansas City, because they're just a defense.
I don't know. Kansas City beat them last year, so.
True, but I don't know. I think you get what I'm saying, though. Like, I think shit, I can't remember another team. Whatever. I can't remember another team, but from last season. But you get what I'm saying. Like, it's crazy how bad the contenders really seem this year.
Yeah. The thing about the Bucs is they could easily be a good team if they stop. Like, let Tom Brady run this offense. They're running this offense where Tom Brady has to throw the ball deep. Tom Brady's not a deep ball thrower. Let him throw his checkdowns. Let him throw his medium passes in the middle of the field, and that's how you win games. But no, they're going deep with Mike Evans and Godwin when they can easily just go. They just go short with Antonio Brown. That's a fine offense right there.
Yeah, but that's because of Bruce Arians' ego. It's like him versus Tom Brady. Whoever wants to run the offense. Yeah,
and also the Bruce Arians just having like this, like he has like a QB whisperer thing on him because like he quarterback Peyton Manning, he quarterback who was the other one? There was someone else really good. Oh, Andrew Luck. I think he was there when Chuck Pagano has cancer. Bruce Arians is not a good coach. I don't know why that happened. Carson Palmer carried him too.
Yeah, everybody likes him. I don't know. There's this misconception about how good of a coach he is. I don't know. It just happens. I mean, if you're on a good team as the coach, you're just going to get the benefit of the doubt. And then if you do it for a certain amount of years, you'll always have the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, but there's some coaches that do deserve like what's his name? 49ers coach.
Oh, Shanahan?
Shanahan deserves all that credit because he is a good coach.
Yeah, I just
Andy Reid's a good coach too. I mean, Bill Belichick, obviously. There's coaches that do deserve it. Bruce Arians just got it because he was with players that have been good for his whole career.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning also promoted Adam Gase so much, and now Adam Gase is like the worst head coach in the NFL. So I think people should stop listening.
I think the Jets should extend Adam Gase, if you ask me.
No, people should stop listening to Peyton Manning. That's what's it.
All right. Speaking of the Jets played a great game against the Dolphins. Lost 20-3. They led 3-0 at one point, so that was good for them.
Hey, I mean, we've scored on our opening drive the past 4 games. I think that's an improvement.
Were they all touchdowns or field goals?
I feel like a couple of them are touchdowns, but most of them are field goals probably. We scored 3 points against the Dolphins in 2 games this year.
I mean, I'll say I don't like Sam Darnold anymore. I was a big Sam Darnold guy. I think I'm out on Sam Darnold. I think he might actually stink.
Joe Flacco has been the better quarterback this year.
Yeah, that's the sign.
That says it all.
That's true. I'm not completely out on him, but I can get why people are starting to pull out. I just think give the you got true. You got to give the guy. What's it? Do they have a high ranked offensive line? I honestly completely.
Jets?
It's probably better than it was last year because of the draft pick. Like Mekhi Becton's one of the highest rated left tackles in the NFL. But,
really? That would have been a really nice pickup.
But I mean, it's probably still not like anywhere near the top of the NFL.
No, the Jets fucking stink. I mean, I think every time we talk about the Jets, we just skip right over them. Like we say, "Oh, the Jets lost." Blah blah blah. That's really it.
Every single game is destroying what we could potentially get in a Sam Darnold trade in during draft night.
That's the worst part about it. I don't think there's a single team at this point. I think I read
you'll get like a fourth, maybe. You'll get a good fourth pick.
I really don't think so.
if you go back to last year, you could maybe get a second. But now every single game we started him, he's just looked worse and worse.
Yeah. It also didn't help that it was a Ryan Fitzpatrick revenge game. You know, It's always a Ryan Fitzpatrick revenge game. Because he played on every team, so it's always a Ryan Fitzpatrick revenge
and
game.
you already know he's trying his hardest to hold back Tua. So
I think he should keep the job for the season. Just say fuck it. Go with the season with him. Tua he already got hurt once. Don't injure him anymore. Just go with Fitzpatrick for the rest of the year.
Was he really hurt? Because I remember seeing he wasn't hurt. They just wanted to.
I'm pretty sure he was. I'm pretty sure they said he wasn't hurt to make it feel better, but then they were like they had to actually say, yeah, he's hurt. He can't play now.
All right. I mean, if that is the case, then yeah, you obviously stick with Fitzpatrick. Depending though, because if he starts going off the deep end, don't completely throw the season away. If you could get Tua in a game, get him in the game. You know what I mean? Because
but that's Fitzpatrick. That's the Fitzpatrick experience. You take the highs and there's some lows. Where it just throws a bunch of picks, but the highs are good.
Yeah, I'm just saying the playoffs. Come playoffs, if he's struggling, then you just got to take him out. I think.
I still think Miami can still get that first spot. Buffalo can lose a couple games here and there.
Yeah,
Miami can take that spot.
Miami's been sleeping. People have been sleeping on them all season.
I think they're only 2 games out right now. Let me see. Where are the Bills?
1 game out.
1 game out. Yeah, the Bills are. Yeah, don't count Miami out. All right. Now the game that we can really talk about. Giants beat the Bengals 19-17. Giants 4-7. Bengals 2-8-1. Hey Zach, imagine your team not being in first place. That could have been me.
It's not something I would have said before the season started, but hey, I mean, here we are, I guess.
Bro, we bitch slapped Brandon Allen that game. The Giants defense. The Giants defense is still. I don't care if it's Brandon Allen. The Giants still destroyed just controlled the game the whole time because of how good their defense is.
They came in clutch at the end of the game. I'll say that much. I mean, obviously we had that drive where they looked shaky, but they made it all up on that the forced fumble / sack,
whatever his name is,
which would have ended the game. By the way, even if it was just a sack, it would have kicked them out of field goal range. The odds of them being able to get everybody back to the line, spike the ball, and then with no timeouts, be able to get back into field goal range, and then somehow stop the clock again, it was very unlikely.
Yeah,
but the defense played amazing. Jones comes out of the game, and the defense knows it's got to get. First of all, it knows it's got to get a turnover, and he basically immediately gets that turnover to put them into to get them a field goal, really, in the end, because Colt McCoy is still Colt McCoy.
Colt McCoy was kind of fine last year with Washington, those couple of years, but he's just not a good quarterback.
Yeah, his first throw, I was like, oh my god, I was like, just anybody else.
I mean, Daniel Jones might be better with one leg than Colt McCoy. But I'm scared though. I'm legit scared that Daniel Jones might miss some time. It's not a good. It doesn't look good.
I am holding out hope because he did go back into the game. I think it's okay if he misses this week. You're playing Seattle. You obviously want him, but I don't know if it's going to make I think either way, no matter what's going to happen, is going to happen against Seattle. So if they walk into the game they're going to take over the game and the Giants defense surprises them and they win the game, I don't think that changes whether or not Jones is on the field or not. So we'll see.
I don't know.
Obviously, the offense is better.
Bad.
I know. Obviously, the offense is better. It's actually crazy, the parallels, because I go on Giants Twitter at the beginning of the season. Everybody wants Jones benched. Now everybody's clamoring. Well, yeah, not you, but everybody wants him back. It's actually pretty funny.
Daniel's biggest fan right here. I love Daniel.
Listen, Jones is starting to turn the corner, I think. He had that great game, and then he was doing well against the Bengals. And then
3 straight games, no turnovers.
Yeah,
people hate to see that.
Hey, give my guy Evan Ingram some credit.
Oh God, no!
In the NFL.
No.
I don't want to go on Evan Ingram rant, but I'll go on Evan Ingram. I hate Evan Ingram for the rest of my life. I don't care if he wins at the Super Bowl. I'll hate him.
Evan Ingram
just shows those flashes where he could become the best tight end in the NFL.
Yeah, and then he shows a flash where he has a salt in his hands in the NFL and can't catch a ball, and then goes over his head and an interception. I think I will legit say Evan Ingram probably cost 3 interceptions a year because of his hands.
Oh, 3?
He makes, one mistake that blows the whole game up every single game.
At one point, half of Daniel Jones's turnovers were when Evan Ingram was targeted.
Yeah, but it's Daniel Jones' fault, obviously, why he throws all the interceptions.
Yeah, okay, but I mean, there were a couple of times I watched Evan jump on the ground for some damn reason when he could have just at least hit the ball down. Something. He's different. I say that much. I want him to do well, but good Lord, it's like one play, amazing. Then the next 10, he's gone. He's just gone. He's useless.
Yeah. The one thing I'm actually really excited about is Wayne Gallman. I'm really
Same.
excited to see how we use Wayne Gallman now, and especially next season if we want to resign him or not. Because like we have a really big decision: do we want to keep Wayne Gallman or we're going to go full on with Saquon?
I think you definitely got to keep Gallman around. Gallman's killing it, unless it depends on how much you have to pay him. But Gallman is killing it. And it's kind of like what I wanted out of Freeman. I wanted Freeman to do really well and also enjoy New York and maybe re-sign him at the end of the season. But that obviously didn't work out. He's hurt. I think he's hurt. Yeah.
I think he's hurt too. Because I like Deion Lewis and what's his name?
Yeah, Lewis made a good play too. I think it was third.
What's the other running back's name? The Washington guy.
Oh, yeah.
Alfred Morris.
Yeah, Morris. That's
Alfred Morris is also a really good guy.
Morris had one really good game where he was running hard.
Yeah, it was against Washington. It was his revenge game.
Yeah, he played really well. And then outside that, nothing. But I'll take it. One game is enough for me.
Yeah. All that matters is we're in first place. Who cares?
True.
Let's just end the season here. We'll go. We'll take a couple of weeks off. We'll go straight to the playoffs. Then Daniel Jones will come.
Stop the count. Stop the count.
Yeah, I would be all for it. I would be all for stopping the season right now.
Agreed.
Well, he's already saying that because he wants that number one pick. Because the Jags might do something. The Jets might do something stupid. Jags pick that first pick.
We would definitely win in week 17 where the Jags would lose, and then we would lose the coin toss somehow. So stop the season here.
All right. Packers beat the Bears 41-25. Packers now 8-3. Bears are 5-6. I don't know. I just trust Mitch Trubisky so much. He sucks, but I just trust him to be a good quarterback for some reason.
Oh, Lord.
He looks like a good quarterback. He just looks like a good quarterback to me.
The Bears, I mean, he had a good game against the Giants, and then just out of nowhere sucks now. So the Bears
not out of nowhere, but he got stuck for a while.
You know what I mean? The Bears just need to strip it all the way down. They got to get rid of Mac. They got to trade everything, I think, and just literally start from ground zero. Get as much draft capital as you can back and just start from ground zero. They don't have a quarterback. They don't have an offense. Their wide receiver hates it there, apparently, but re-signed. I don't know how that happened. I think they gotta just start anew, really.
No, yeah, the Bears suck. Matt Nagy is also one of the candidates for worst. He's not dumb. He's just one of the worst coaches. He's just not a good coach. I think is it Jets or the Bears that are having problems with who's calling the plays?
The Jets. They don't know. They don't know if Adam Gase is calling the plays, or they don't know if like someone else is calling the plays. But Adam Gase is saying other people are calling the plays, but secretly he's still calling.
Which actually isn't the first time he's done that. I think he did that in Miami and with Indianapolis as well. So
I mean, he just has too much pride to not call the plays. He's secretly doing it.
No, but yeah, I mean, I feel bad for Mitch. He had more passing yards than Aaron Rodgers though, so that's something. I mean, he's also starting next week, so we'll have to see with the Bears. I don't really have anything with the Packers. I mean, that was just the easy Packers win. I don't think the Packers are even that good of a team in the first place. I think they get lucky a lot. Their defense is ass. Aaron Rodgers, they had an easy win against the Bears because the Bears suck.
I couldn't agree with you more, really.
Yeah. Seahawks. Sunday Night Football. Seahawks beat the Eagles 20. Oh wait, no, it's Monday Night Football. Seahawks beat the Eagles 23-17. Seahawks now 8-3. Eagles are 3-7-1. I hate to say, I think Russell Wilson's not that good of a quarterback anymore. He's really dipped. His rise was high, and then now he's starting to go down because that was not a good game against one of the worst defenses in the league.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on in Seattle. It's like I said, it's weird because a lot of those teams 3 weeks ago, everybody was saying, oh, they should win the NFC. Those three teams in whatever, I think it's the NFC West, or should win, and now none of them don't really look that impressive anymore.
No.
Maybe the Rams because their defense, but it's really it. I don't know. The Seahawks have had one fall from grace, but at least their defense is finally starting to kind of play well, little bit. Past 3 weeks,
they versed Carson Wentz. Let's be fair. They versed Carson Wentz, the worst quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, I'm not giving them any credit for this week. I'm just saying I think their defensive numbers have been up the past 3 weeks, so at least they have that going for them. But yeah, I don't know what to make of them.
It's really sad to say, but every week I get to watch the Eagles play like that and keep on playing bad. That's a win in my book. That gives me the utmost enjoyment, just knowing that my roommates in school get to go through that pain of winning the Super Bowl, but now they're just all in shambles. It's really fun to watch.
The Eagles had maybe one of the worst runs since they won the Super Bowl. They made the playoffs. The only reason they won that one playoff game because of the double doink, and after that, they've just been irrelevant at this point.
The quarterback that won them the Super Bowl isn't even there anymore.
Nah.
Now they're stuck with max contract extension Carson Wentz and
Carson Wentz. Oh my God, he had the worst interception I've ever seen. He threw an interception right to the Seahawks that pick. That was so bad. So bad.
Everyone says, "Oh, they don't have the wide receivers," and they always drop the ball. Yeah, okay, but I still think Carson Wentz is one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. Right?
Hey, all I'm gonna say is all I heard last season was that Daniel Jones fumbles the ball too much. He fumbles the ball too much. Blah 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 blah. He turns the ball over. Right? He had a bad offensive line. I think every Giant fan can agree with that. Every excuse now for Wentz is, he has a bad offensive line. Where was that for Jones? He's not. No, I think Wentz leads the league, or he did at some point in fumbles. He leads the league in interceptions, that I know. And then there was a stat where he's thrown to 34 people that are like 34 times where he's thrown to none of his players, something like that. I don't know. It's ridiculous. He's terrible. But everybody was still people who still praise him. It's crazy.
It's crazy. He was going to win MVP that year, and then now he just is awful. Is so. He's the fact that they're thinking about benching him for Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is not that good of a quarterback. Jalen Hurts was an average college quarterback, and now they want to bench him for him. Ooh,
yeah,
that's how bad it is. All right, Wednesday afternoon football. The Steelers beat the Ravens 19-14. This was basically a action game. I mean, the funny thing about this game, the only reason they played in the afternoon is because they wanted to do the Christmas tree lights right after the game. So they wanted to do that during the nighttime. So that's why they had to play during the day.
Did you see this year? The tree is like one of the worst I've ever seen.
Oh, it's a bad tree. But the weird thing is, they could have easily done like a halftime show. Like, we'll light the Christmas tree at halftime. But no, they purposely said, no, we're going to do the Christmas tree at the specific time. You're going to have to do it before.
Treasure Day. You just don't respect it enough.
Nah, I don't like the Christmas tree lighting. It's overrated.
Agreed. I second that.
Is this like fireworks?
Parades number one.
Fireworks or this?
Parades are the most overrated thing ever. Then fireworks.
Depends what parade.
No, parades are stupid.
Depends what parade. If it's a championship-winning parade, come on now.
That's true, but at the same time, it's 2020. Why do I want to stand outside to see a balloon?
Can this be our list? Like top 5 overrated national things that we promote?
That's all right. I'm gonna add that to my list right now. But yeah, this is such a bad game. Of course, Big Ben, he sucks too. Big Ben's really just not that good of a quarterback in the first place.
Yeah, I find it pathetic that the Steelers didn't just roll over them. I don't care what anybody the Ravens are missing. I don't know how many starters. They're missing their quarterback, for Christ's sake. Your defense is supposed to be that special, which they're pretty good. Their defense is good. That's the one thing I'll give them. But they couldn't roll over a team without their starting quarterback.
Did they really miss their starting quarterback when they got Trace McSorley?
Oh my God. When I saw him come to the game, I was like, no. Because then you're going to see all of the songs again and all of the things on TikTok and Instagram. That was just my worst nightmare.
What are you talking about?
The touchdown pass.
That was a great pass.
Great pass.
It's a great pass.
You're just going to see it everywhere.
Wait, what are you talking about?
You're just gonna see it on TikTok and Instagram. Oh my God!
Oh shit! I canceled the tab. 1 second. I'm playing it. I'm playing it for everyone so they can hear how great it is.
The Steelers let them score. The game was over. Oh, here we go.
The best part about that video is I think there's only 2 pass plays in the whole highlight video.
Yeah, but that's going to be updated with this touchdown to Hollywood Brown now.
Oh yeah, it is, and it's amazing. It was a great pass. What can I say? Chase McSorley did everything for that touchdown.
He's a better quarterback than RG3 was.
Oh, RG3. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what people expect from RG3. RG3 just hasn't.
He had that one good run play, and then
Yeah.
He really didn't do
Well, that
anything.
one good run. That was like very early in the game, though. That wasn't even that good of a run play in the first
Yeah, it
place.
was just his like longest run since he was on the Redskins,
Washington football team.
the
Jesus.
Washington football team.
I think I gotta censor that now. But yeah, this is just what I mean. I don't think anyone cared about this game. Not even the Steelers. I think that's the reason why it was such a close game. I don't think the Steelers even care about this game.
Yeah, true. I don't know. The Steelers have not wowed me at all this year.
Do they have to play on Sunday?
No, they moved it to Monday or Tuesday. They moved it a day to make up for the fact that they had to play. Yeah, that was the biggest talk. I don't know. I saw something. The reason why they didn't play yesterday was because the players were going to strike, and if they strike, then somehow it can jeopardize the entire season. That's what I read. I don't know. It's craziness. But, yeah.
Well, Steelers play Monday. Ravens play Tuesday.
Okay, yeah. There you go.
Wait, I have a question. Why would you have to censor that? Because RG3 did technically play for the Redskins.
Oh, got the Redskins. We're gonna censor that too. Oh man. So yeah, I mean, that was a shitty. I mean, there was a lot of shitty games. And I don't think now I'm looking at it. But there's some good games. But this was just a terrible, terrible game. I don't think I paid a single attention.
The outcome before the game started.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was very Denver Broncos-esque because of the fact that the Ravens had no one on their team. I was like, oh, they're gonna throw it to Mark Andrews. Oh, Mark Andrews not playing, right? But did he play?
I do not know.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who played for this team. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to keep track.
What a shitty game this was. But yeah.
No, he didn't play.
No. Okay. All right, that does it for week 12. Other NFL news. We already talked about Will Fuller and Bradley Roby. I don't know why people take PEDs in the first place, especially in the NFL. I don't really think it helps you. Tyreek Hill thought Mahomes was trash when he first got drafted. I kind of agree with that. I thought Mahomes was gonna be trash too.
A lot of people did.
Yeah.
So I can't really
know. Also, there was that one girl, Sarah Fuller, first female player to play in a Power 5 team.
Oh man,
they screwed her so badly.
Everybody,
they made her do a squib kick. That's so fun. And everyone's like, "Oh, look at this! She can't kick the ball." It was a squib kick, and people were like, "She can't kick the ball." That was so unfair.
Lost their goddamn minds. I was like, "Holy shit! Just get a grip. She can fucking kick a ball." Like I don't understand. What's
Billy's
so
probably one of those people. Billy hates women.
What?
Billy hates women in sports. Just don't ask me about Monet Davis.
Were losing their mind. Whitlock was going on a rant about how
that's Whitlock. Don't listen to Whitlock.
No, I'm just saying Whitlock was going on a rant about how it was all just to get. It was all for popularity and blah blah blah. They should have signed somebody off the men's soccer team, even though they don't have a men's soccer team. So that was real smart by a sports journalist who can't even do basic research.
Yeah, he's a Candace Owens of sports media.
It's insanity. It's actually insanity. People are losing their minds. I thought we were in the freaking 30s. I was like, who cares? I will say the one thing that was messed up, they give her SBC Player of the Week when a guy has 5 touchdowns. That's a little insane. I mean, you're now like you're trying to get this negative input.
She got Player of the Week?
Yeah, she got Player of the Week. That's crazy. I mean, come on. That's crazy. Yeah. Come on now. You have a guy who scores 5 touchdowns. You want to do a shout out or something? Sure, but don't give her Player of the Week. It makes it for her even harder because now people are going to lose their mind. They're going to be like, "Oh my god, look at this!" It's insanity to me.
I just found it cool. That's all. It was a cool.
I agree.
All right, now we can talk about the trade that just happened. I told Zach to quiet it, but Russell Westbrook was just traded to the Washington Wizards for John Wall and a first round pick. I mean,
a shitty first round pick.
Yeah, it's not really like what
it's protected. I know that it's 2033 and it's protected, so it's a shitty pick. It's actually a little surprising that they got that they even got a pick.
I'm trying to wonder who won this trade. I think it's a bad trade on both parts, really. I mean, I think actually the Rockets won. I think the Rockets getting John Wall is pretty good. It helps whoever young core they're trying to build.
Yeah, you got DeMarcus Cousins. You have Harden.
Harden's gone.
Harden.
Harden's gone.
Depends. I think he's staying. I think I think it's been overbuilt, to be honest with you. I think he's staying. Why sign DeMarcus Cousins then? That's crazy.
True. Yeah, but I don't know. I think they just don't want. I think James Harden's done with the Rockets. They're done with him. I think they're just ready. I mean, John didn't he hate the coach hiring?
Not that I saw. I don't know, to be honest with you. I know the one thing he hated was he hated playing without a traditional center. He hated that, and I can't blame him. You can't have a playmaker. There's no pick and roll action anymore.
They played with They played with what's it? Clint Capella. He's a traditional center. He can't shoot the ball. He has to stay in the paint. He's a traditional as he
Don't be
gets.
talking trash about Clint Capella. I am Clint Capella.
I'm not talking trash. I'm saying he's the most traditional center you get because he can't shoot. He has to stay in the paint in order to be productive.
Yeah, and then they got rid of him, and then they just told Harden, here's
And then the
PJ
game
Tucker
after
trying
that
to
was
win.
against the Lakers.
Yeah.
And Anthony
They did beat the Lakers. Yeah, they did beat the Lakers though. That one game. That was cool.
There's something that just came in. Stance on James Harden has not changed. Houston hopes to be competitive with him this season and does not envision a scenario where Harden would be traded before the opener.
All right.
So there's that. But that's crazy. Protection on first round Wizards traded is 2023 lottery. Yeah.
I saw that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't think this is a good trade for the Wizards either.
It's not that bad, that pick, actually, because it keeps rolling over. That's the one thing that's good. Because if you
the Rockets can use draft pick probably too. They probably have no draft picks anyway, so they'll take anything.
Yeah, I mean, well, they traded 2 of them or 4 of them because of the pick swaps to OKC for Russell Westbrook, and it's a dandy of a trade. I love it.
This is a weird trade. I knew it was coming because I remember talking about this last week. Oh yeah, they're probably getting traded for each other, but I don't know how that really works out for Washington. I don't think he's gonna really fit in Washington. I think he's probably gonna be out after this year.
Here's the thing, though: he is going and playing with his old coach, so that's something that you're really not thinking of. They still have Scott Brooks. Scott Brooks, which is okay.
I thought he hated Scott Brooks.
Apparently, he did. So I don't know.
I feel like everyone hates Scott Brooks though. So.
It's very confusing because I know Durant loved him, and that's why Washington hired him because they wanted him.
Okay, I remember that.
That did not work.
No,
it is funny because there was talk when OKC had Westbrook and it was just Westbrook. So after the triple-double season, that the Wizards wanted to trade Beal, and Bradley Beal played with Billy Donovan in college. So there was talk maybe Beal gets traded to Oklahoma City. Now Russ is playing with Beal in Washington. I think it'll work for both teams, to be honest with you, unless they have to trade Harden. Then it's bad.
I mean,
for Houston.
Washington is a playoff team with John Wall. I think Westbrook is obviously better than John Wall, so they'll probably make the playoffs again this year. Even in the East, it's easier anyway. So, but I like to trade a lot for Houston because even if they don't trade James Harden, which I think they probably should at this point. He helps that team a lot. John Wall has a lot of potential still in him. If hopefully his Achilles can hold up.
Yeah, you just don't know how he's going to come back from his injury.
Yeah,
that's the biggest question mark. That's why it could really blow up on Houston because now you just traded what is seen as an untradeable contract, but I don't believe you could trade it for literally the definition of maybe the worst contract in basketball.
Yeah.
Currently.
I feel like they're just trying to take a chance. What else do they have left to lose? They don't have any first-round picks, so they really don't have like a future. So
that is true.
Like a last-ditch effort.
All right. I think this is one of the moments that just like everyone on Twitter just goes on and Nate Robinson getting knocked out by Jake Paul was one of the greatest Twitter moments in Twitter history. I mean, that brings everyone together. That was a fucking moment of the lifetime right there. I loved it.
I knew it was going to happen.
Oh, yeah, I did too. I mean, Nate Robinson's 5'9", Jake Paul is 6'2". That was the most obvious knockout that was going to happen.
I was listening to people saying, oh, well, Paul's going to lose. He's a YouTuber, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I don't – he has fought in fights.
He's been training for like 3 years now.
Yeah.
Nate Robinson wasn't even training in the first place. It was the most one-sided fight of all time.
What's crazy about it is if you look at who Jake has fought, Jake hasn't fought a single person taller than him yet.
Really?
Yeah, everybody he's fought in the 2 or 3 professional fights that he has, they've all been shorter than him by a decent margin.
KSI. Is KSI?
He hasn't yet.
No, I thought Logan Paul
was
going to KSI.
He's going to. Yeah, Logan already fought KSI and lost. I hate Jake. I hope he loses. I want him to be sent into the bottomless pit of hell and to never come back.
I don't like Jake Paul, but I like Logan Paul.
Logan. Yeah,
Logan Paul has made the switch.
Logan has made the switch. Logan was Like when Logan's around his brother, he's an idiot. I don't know what happens to him, but Logan without his brother, he actually has a mind.
After the suicide farce thing, that's when he started to turn around things. But yeah, Nate Robinson though, this is just something you can't do. Like you can't get like now he's like he used to be like, oh, it was a small guy who dunks.
He's an internet meme now.
Now he's the guy who got knocked out by a YouTuber.
Yeah.
That's always gonna be known as now.
Is he even a former basketball player anymore? I don't even think
he's a boxer. He's a boxer now.
He's a
No, but
boxer.
it's like Curry. Even Curry was roasting his ass. He's like,
Yeah.
I forget what he said. Curry went after his ass. Everyone was going after his ass.
Yeah, he said
bad.
Curry said, well, you didn't surprise or something like that.
Yeah.
It's really bad. I mean, I saw it. Miles, he kept running at him. So I was like, all right, I like the aggressiveness, but he was like running and punching at the same time.
Yeah, he was like leaning in with his face. It was just a matter of time before Jake Paul squared him up.
Yeah. Actually, surprised it didn't happen earlier, but hey.
Yeah, now every like NBA athlete trying to challenge Jake Paul. I think Jake Paul is only he's not challenging these guys like 6'6",
No.
210. Yeah,
They were like, "Oh, you're gonna fight LeBron?" He's like, "No, he's too big."
He wants to fight Floyd. He wants to fight Floyd. He's gonna get.
Nah, that's crazy. Floyd's too much. Floyd
will take it though because it'll sell. Because
I think you know what fight's gonna happen. I think Conor McGregor's gonna happen.
The Conor one.
I think Conor accepts. I think Conor will accept the fight if you give him enough money.
I just don't understand why these people are accepting fights to the loser. I'm sorry, KSI won. So are we like he is the top?
Money talks.
It's true, and it's because he's from the UK, and that they won't sell out in the USA. Those people will sell in the USA. It's just crazy, though. The top of the YouTube boxing game is just completely irrelevant when it comes to actual boxing.
How good are they actually at boxing in the first place? You know?
Yeah, I mean it's boxing, really. KSI punches like this.
This would be a fight that Floyd would accept just because he's all about now, like later on in his career, like getting this money and a free win. This is like his type
also, I don't think these fights actually count on the record because I remember because Mike Tyson's fight didn't count the record.
No,
that wasn't a record fight.
Yeah. These fights were considered like because they were charity. It's kind of weird to explain. It was for a charity event, so they couldn't go through the Games Commission, and because of that, they couldn't be official fights. I don't know. I also don't get why I call the Tyson fight a draw then, because Tyson clearly won the fight, but.
It was. I mean, I don't think anyone cared about that like 50-year-old fight.
They each got $10 million from it.
I found it fun. Well, yeah, but Tyson's donating it. I found it fun. It was fun to watch. I mean, Tyson kicked the shit out of him. That's why it was fun. It was like Roy Jones Jr. was just a punching bag, and yeah, Tyson donated his money. He's going through a humanitarianism thing now, where I don't know. He said he's going to do this again.
It was cool to see him. I mean, he was still lightning quick.
Yeah. I wouldn't say lightning quick, but the power was definitely there. And he had a couple where it was like, ooh, that hurt Roy a lot.
Yeah,
I think Roy might have fractured it.
Roy was just kind of there for like the show aspect of it.
Yeah. He did have one moment late in the fight when he started like dancing. That was kind of funny. But
Snoop Dogg should be a commentator every time now.
Snoop Dogg should commentate every single sport. Every single sport. I am highly critical of commentators. He is hysterical.
He's with my guy Mauro Ronaldo too, big Mauro Ronaldo guy. He was the main guy. He was the main commentator, and yeah, it was a great commentating.
Snoop commentated and gave a halftime performance, so
he did that. He does everything. Yes.
Yeah, no, Snoop nailed it.
Buffalo running back Jared Peterson should be able to kill his own head coach. So Jared Peterson had 409 rushing yards and 8 rushing touchdowns. He was. Let me do the math real quick. He was 18 yards away from breaking the rushing yard record and 1 touchdown away from breaking the touchdown record, and he got benched.
Oof.
You should be able to legally murder your coach for that. That is so fucked up.
I feel like, I don't know. I love how though the differences between the two sports, because if you see somebody in basketball do something like that to try to get back in the game and break a record, it's stat padding. But
like Russell.
Yeah, exactly. Like Westbrook, apparently. But if, a guy in another sport does it, it's seen as, tries to do it or should be able to do it.
To be fair, I don't think this was stat pattern. I think this was just like, Buffalo's not good. They play in the MAC league, and MAC is not a good league. They were versus Kent State, who's not a good football team either. So I think he was just like literally just playing his game. Sure. I don't even think it was stat padding at that point. It was just how bad the team he was versing. But I'm just saying he could have easily broken those records, but for some reason his coach said no, sit down on the bench. You're done.
Sure.
Andy Martino. So I hate Andy Martino. He's a terrible. He's the baseball reporter for SNY, and he had maybe the dumbest thing he's ever said in his life, which is shocking because there's a lot of dumb things he said.
Yeah.
He basically said the team's main goal isn't to win a World Series. I mean, I think he hates Steve Cohen. I think he has like a legit despise against Steve Cohen because he kept saying, yeah, Steve Cohen's not going to buy the Mets and whatever. Now he's saying the Mets main goal shouldn't be to win World Series. Andy Martino's such a fucking idiot, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've heard that before somewhere too about basketball. I heard, well, the goal shouldn't be to win. It should, what do we? So why even do the sport then? What are you talking? Your goal is to always win. Yeah. I mean, are there times where I believe in strategic losses? Sure, because again, you have to look at your best chance to win, regardless. And if your best chance at winning is losing now, then that's the right thing to do. But in the end, your goal is always to win. It doesn't matter how. I don't know. It's people crazy.
You know what's bad too? Because like a Royals player, of all players, the Royals is even saying this is stupid. The Royals are the most one of the brokest franchises in the league. True. They won a World Series 5 years ago. So I mean, clearly, how much
you they're all trying to win. That guy also is a clown because he works for SNY, and I feel like he tweets more about the Yankees.
He does. Yeah, he does.
He tweets a lot about the Yankees.
He works for SNY. He's like the Yankees SNY guy.
No, I think he's just straight up baseball. I think he's main base. Like he just straight up does baseball.
Maybe. I see. Yeah. I think I blocked him at some point because of just the stupid shit that he spewed. And then he had a beat on something, and then I unblocked him. I was like, all right, fine, I'll allow it.
You just keep him blocked. He's not a good reporter in the first place. And it's like he's supposed to be a baseball reporter, but if you want the good baseball reporters, there's guys already out there like Ken Rosenthal,
sure,
Jeff Passan. There's just
Passan's goated.
Jeff Passan's out.
He has some weird takes sometimes, but
I'm trying to think how good I'm trying to think he might be my number one guy in all sports. Just because he just attacks people for no reason.
Ooh.
I think the fact he just Woj is too serious.
True.
Passan's able to joke around and stuff.
I can give you that. I can see that.
Yeah. All right, that's all I have for news and stuff. We'll now move on to our power rankings. I decided this week we'll do worst sport moments since we have some fans who have a lot of some bad moments with as sports fans. So as we do it, we'll do rock paper scissors, 3-way rock paper scissors, and we'll see. We'll see what happens from there. All right.
Okay.
Rock paper scissors shoot.
All right.
So
well,
you get third pick.
Okay.
All right, Billy. Rock paper scissors shoot. All right. So that's double scissors. All right. So I get first. You get second. Zach get third.
Okay.
All right. My number one pick. My worst sports moment as a sports fan. Lucas Duda era in the World Series. I don't think I've ever came back from someone that was so. As a Lucas, I was literally had a Lucas Duda shirt on. I'm a Lucas Duda guy. He's a first baseman. I'm a first baseman. I love Lucas Duda, and just for that fucking error, ruined that whole World Series. But not even ruin the World Series. There's a lot more stuff that ruined that World Series, but that basically iced the World Series for us. That hurt so badly for me, and I don't think I've ever had a worse moment since. So yeah, that's my number one moment. Billy, what's number one?
Okay, my number one is the Yankees losing to the Red Sox, like 16-1 or 17-1, something like that. But also because that was the night where I lost my vision in my right eye, and I woke up the next morning and couldn't see out of the eye. So that's my worst moment.
Now, why did you lose vision out of your right eye?
Because of the baseball game.
No, it wasn't because you left your contact in overnight.
Oof. No, because of the baseball game.
Yeah. That was a bad one. I remember you two were talking about that a couple weeks ago.
Game 4.
Game 3.
I think I texted you because I was working during the game. So I had you texting me updates, I'm pretty sure. And this guy, Hap, I remember Hap, you were just like, oh, Hap. And then that was it. Yeah.
All right, Zach, you get 2 straight picks.
Oh, 2 straight. Okay, cool. Yeah. So it's like that. All right, easy. So my first one was Yankees 2017 loss to Houston. I think that'll go down as just the most painful L and playoffs, at least for the Yankees. I mean, that year was special. I think for
rebuilding year.
The rebuild year, the Houston year, when they lost in Game 7.
What was that, 2017?
Yes, 17. That one was painful. It's because you weren't supposed to be there, and then the comeback in Game 5, I think it was, right? They had the comeback with first Judge hit a double off the base of the wall, and then Sanchez with a double. That one was tough. And then you figure out Houston cheated.
Yeah, it was just a path to get there too. We came back from 0-2 down in the Cleveland series.
And then also in Minnesota, we started the game off down 3-0 because Severino was a rookie and probably shouldn't have started the game.
Well, to be fair, also Severino isn't a good playoff pitcher either after that game too. So,
cap. But yeah, that one sucked. And then number 2. Gonna have to go with OKC's 2016 loss to Golden State because, that started a whole lot of shit in the downfall of Oklahoma City basketball.
Like what, for example?
Kevin Durant deciding to leave. I think this is my opinion. I've had some people say they believe me. Other people are just like, nah, you're crazy. It's kind of a conspiracy, but I think Durant knew he was on the way out and really just didn't care about the series towards the end. And that's why they lost. But that's a whole other story. That one sucked because of everything that happened. You got the really highs and then the really lows. And then especially to know that you were the first team, I think, in the history of basketball, maybe at the time, or the first team in the Western Conference Final to blow a 3-1 lead. That sucked. But it happened this year, so I guess we're no longer involved with that.
Yeah, and also happened to no one even remembers you guys going that 3-1 just because you lost because the Warriors blew their own. Yeah, so
it kind of sheltered the pain, but every fucking month I gotta go on Instagram, watch ESPN or House of Highlights post about Clay's Game 6 and how Clay went on. It's just painful. It's just painful. There's no other way around it. It's just painful.
Yeah, I can't imagine my team blowing a 3-1 game. So yeah, that has to be a hard one. You're even a 3-0, I should say too. That would also be bad. Billy, number 2.
My number 2 is going to be the Knicks. I mean, I want to say not getting the first pick, but you could just put the whole off season. You could just put the whole off season from last year in there.
I also had that listed.
So them not getting the first pick, and then that kind of shattered the whole Katie and Kyrie coming to the Knicks thing. So just the whole off season as a whole really fell apart, and that is my number 2.
Yeah, I also had that on my list. It wasn't going to be in my top 5, but I wrote that down just in case I had that something taken off my list. My number 2, Deshaun Jackson punt return, the Miracle in the Meadowlands Part 2. I think it was the second Miracle in the Meadowlands. That one fucking hurt. We had the punch. I forget who the puncher was. It wasn't Steve Weatherford. It was someone who just Tom Coughlin said, punt it out of bounds. Just punt this ball out of bounds. And he punches straight up to Deshaun Jackson. Deshaun Jackson fumbles the ball. Someone picks it up. And then he fucking returns it. He does the wave as he runs across the end zone. I hate Deshaun Jackson the rest of my life. And that one, every time you ever you're on YouTube those late nights, he's like, oh, let's watch the worst moments in sports. Or the craziest moments in sports. Every time I see that, I just skip by that so quickly because I do not want to be reminded.
That's like a moment of the decade in all those videos.
Yeah.
That one fucking sucked. But the next year we won the Super Bowl, so
pain for gain.
My number 3 pick, I'm going to pick Connor Lepsey home run against the Mets in the 2016 wildcard game. I mean, everything that happened from Miller coming in after leading the league in saves, he comes in the 8th inning, and it's fucking nobody named Connor Gillespie hits a home run against us in a wildcard game. Oh, man. And then we had there was a slim chance that Madison Bumgarner might leave that game, but nope, they kept him in for the rest of the game. He completes a complete game shutout. Mets lose the game in the wild card. That was the downfall of the Mets from since we went to the World Series. So that fucking sucked. That was Connor Gillespie. Who the fuck is Connor Gillespie? That's just all I have to say. It's Connor Gillespie. It's a game-leading home run.
It do be like that in sports sometimes.
And he had that story where potentially he was closing his eyes or something like that, or I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Connor fucking Gillespie. I'll always remember that name just because of that one moment. All right, number 2 or number 3, Billy.
All right, my number 3 is the 2019 home run by Jose Altuve to send the Astros to the World Series. And I don't know. This was just my number 3 because of what happened the top of the inning when DJ LeMahieu ties up the game with the 2-run home run. I was running around my college apartment, like going crazy. That was like the highest of the highs and then the lowest of the lows when Chapman and you got the Josh Reddick on deck. You could just intentionally walk Altuve and it's the home run and the whole buzzer thing. If he was wearing a buzzer, if he wasn't wearing a buzzer, I don't know, but.
I think there's no way he wasn't because when your excuse was I just had a tattoo made.
Yeah, come on, he had a tattoo. It was embarrassing. His wife didn't want. His wife doesn't like his body on
cap.
Yeah,
come on.
Go on his Instagram, you'll find tons of shirtless pictures of Jose Altuve.
Oh, you're just in denial.
The only reason why, for me, I didn't put that on my list is because I had a feeling it was going to happen while I was watching the game. If they didn't take the lead in that inning, and I've said this about other sports, when you don't have home field advantage, or for some instance, like in basketball, when you go on a big run and you come all the way back, but you never take the lead, you're going to lose the game. It's one of those things that, at least for me, that's what I've always said is you're going to lose the game. OKC, when they played Utah, not the game they made the huge comeback, but there was one game they were down by 15. They came back, then they let them go on a run. They came back, but never once took the lead. It's just one of those things with me. I was like, we're going to lose this game if we don't take the lead. And we did.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. For most of these things, I'm like very happy about your moments. All right. Zach, you get 3 and 4.
Okay. So, yeah, we move on to this year. Which has sucked all around anyway. But we had to – I had to put some hockey in there because I watch playoff hockey. I don't watch regular season hockey often, but I watch playoff hockey. Got the Islanders loss in the playoffs this year in Game 6 when the Islanders could have sent it to Game 7 if Brock Nelson hits a breakaway goal in overtime, and they're probably winning the series, and then are probably going to beat Dallas and probably win the Stanley Cup.
I don't know about all that. I think Dallas. I mean, not Dallas. Tampa Bay was just a better team.
I agree. I 100% agree. But if Nelson scores that goal, you have all the momentum going into Game 7. Nobody, if there's ever a season for a 3-1 lead to come back in any sport, this includes the NBA, in any sport, it would be this year because there is no real home court advantage or home ice in hockey. And that's why I think they would have won because they had all the momentum. It was a technical home game for Tampa Bay, but it really wasn't. So I think they win the series. And that's why if Brock scores that goal, and even if they don't, it's still, you get it to Game 7 against the Stanley Cup winners. So I don't know. And then number 4, I wasn't sure which one to go with this one, but I'm going to go with Russ being traded away. Russell Westbrook, of course. I'm an OKC fan. So that sucks. That still sucks. It was the right move, but it still sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I would be happy to trade away a ball hog like that. That's just my opinion.
He is easily my favorite player of all time in basketball.
If Kevin Durant never left like he did, would he be your number 1 or?
I don't think Durant was ever my number 1. To be honest with you, I didn't really I watched basketball, but I didn't get really into it until Durant left. And I think partially the reason why I got so into it is because Durant left.
Because of the hatred.
Yes. And the amount of like that's my guy, that guy wants to be here. I don't know. It brings that sort of, I don't know how to explain it, but that's the epitome of sports. So losing him is like losing a piece of your heart when it comes to sports. And that's why I put Russ at number 4.
All right. Billy, number 4.
Okay, my number 4 is the 2011 AFC Championship game. Jets lose to the Steelers 24-19. And I was really young, so I remember most of the game, but I know the game before we're huge underdogs versus the Patriots, and we took the Patriots down and Tom Brady and LaDainian Tomlinson and Bart Scott after the game, and they were going crazy, and they were like, "Oh, don't sleep on us." I mean, we had one of the best defenses in the NFL at the time with Darrelle Revis and Antonio Cromartie, and they were kind of carrying Mark Sanchez in our offense. But just our loss to the Steelers, we were one game away from going to the Super Bowl, and yeah, that's my number 4.
I actually thought you said the Pittsburgh game. I actually thought you were talking about the Fitzpatrick game where you threw like 3 interceptions at the end of the game. And
Oh no.
like you guys could have made the wild card that one year.
The playoffs, but the 2011 one would have sent us to the Super Bowl. So.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good one. I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about the AFC Championship loss. Who you lost to the Colts the year before or the year after?
Yeah, the Colts.
The year after or before?
Before.
Okay. All right, my number 4. I'm gonna go David Wright getting spinal stenosis. That just ruined everything for me. As like you were saying, Russell Westbrook's your favorite player. David Wright's my favorite athlete of all time. And just to see him go down, everything that happened after the spinal stenosis, he was able to finish the year. But next year he gets the I forget which injury it was. It was a neck injury. He gets his neck injury, and then he has to retire. He has the worst retirement game of all time. I think he struck out, and then he popped up to the first baseman, and then they had to play extra innings, and then you have to wait like 6 hours to the retirement ceremony. But yeah, it was horrible ending for David right there. Number 5. I don't know if it's my worst moment or one of my most embarrassing moments, but the Giants bull picture will always haunt me just for the fact of how much.
I didn't even think of that.
For how much we get clowned on that one photo, I think that's the reason why I hate it so much.
Oh man,
we get clowned on that one photo, and it makes sense too because ever since that photo, we have been going downhill since. So it has ruined my life since.
They've been the worst team in football since that goddamn picture. So I think it's justified. And that includes an 0-16 team. I think it's justified why
I think we might be better than the Jets at this point now. I think the Jets might be the worst team in this.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah. I just mean more. We were record-wise before the season.
Yeah. So yeah, Odell took the fact that the playoff game where Odell had like a horrible game, and the Giants' offense was just so bad, and then Eli Manning was like, "Yeah, it was fun. I had no problem with them having a party."
All right, if you guys played Green Bay a little closer, do you think that photo would have been like pointed out a little more?
If the Giants, yes. If it's a close game, that photo doesn't like. I think the way it changed is if the Giants win that game. The Giants win the game, then everyone's happy. Like, look, the Giants had fun.
It's compounded because the receiver sucked in that game too. Like Eli had maybe his best game in like 4 years, but the receivers, all of them dropped touchdown passes. Shepard did. Odell did at one point. That's why it was really bad. If they caught their passes, then I don't think it wouldn't. I mean, obviously it would have been looked at because of the record and everything that happened after. But like they didn't even catch their passes, so it like made it even worse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think the worst part is like they had like not the worst part, but like they had like all the cocaine stuff. Like they were doing cocaine on the boat.
Christ,
it was just everything was bad about that picture. Everything bad. And then I think Sterling Shepard was shirtless and wearing Timbs. What are we doing this, Shep? Come on. Oh, that and then after that, Ben McAdoo shaves his head. He's not cool anymore. He becomes business McAdoo, and then the Giants suck. And then we hire Pat Shurmur. Pat Shurmur's the worst coach ever. Ugh.
McAdoo was such a good offensive coordinator.
He was. He's still. I think he's a Browns offensive coordinator. So I don't know how good he is. Yeah,
I don't know. He was very good for the Giants, and then they made him the head coach.
No, he was a good head coach that one year. He cut his hair. That's where it ended. He cut his hair. He went business. He went business on us, and then that's where it ended.
The heel turn.
That one picture has ruined the Giants ever since.
Shepard's the only last survivor from that picture.
There might be
probably there's definitely. I think Shepard actually is like the oldest tenured player now on that team.
Yeah, that
would make sense.
They don't have their long snapper anymore.
Yeah, the Yossi's gone.
So yeah, maybe I don't know. Yeah, all right. Definitely close.
Yeah. Billy, number 4. Oh, let's pick. Sorry, number 5. Your last pick.
My number 5 is the Knicks lost to the Pacers in the Eastern Conference semifinals when Amari Stoudemire punched the fire extinguisher and broke his hand and was out for the rest of the series. But I really wanted us to win because I felt like we would have put up a pretty close series against the Miami Heat. We beat the Miami Heat multiple times during the regular season, and I don't know. I mean, we didn't like make the series close, but the fire extinguisher punch, and then I don't know. I don't know why he even did that.
What year was that? Was that 2012?
2013. 2013.
Yeah. That was jokes. I didn't watch basketball at the time, so I just remember hearing about a basketball player punching a fire hydrant. I was just dying. That was jokes.
Yeah, that was the last year we made the playoffs too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I didn't even think about the Knicks. I wasn't even trying to think about the Knicks. I didn't think I had a single thing because the Knicks are just so bad in my mind. Like there's just nothing that can make them worse. So that's why I didn't even have the Knicks on my list.
I mean, it is. It was 7 years ago, but
All right, Zach, last pick.
The last one. We go back to Mr. Kevin Durant and his betrayal. Now, it was a toss-up between 4 and 5 because Durant's betrayal is really what started the downfall. But I think losing Russ, like I said before, is losing a part of your heart. Whereas Durant, it just made me want to beat Golden State so bad.
Yeah.
And then the first time we played them, and both times, I think we got smacked around because obviously it was Russell Westbrook, Cantor, Steven Adams, who Adams was rough that season. That was it. That was the whole offense. It was just Russ, essentially. And we had a backup point guard, Samaje Kristen. You know where he is? Yeah, he's not in the league anymore.
What about Reggie Jackson?
No, Reggie wasn't on that team. Reggie was Detroit then.
Oh,
yeah,
really? You got traded.
Really?
Yeah, I thought he was there.
Reggie's a bum. I hate Reggie more than I hate Durant. Reggie's a
good
bum. Nah, he's a bum.
He's pretty good.
He believed he was better than Russell Westbrook.
Well, he is.
No, he's not. In no planet is Reggie Jackson better.
You have to give Reggie Jackson the ball.
No.
He transformed the offense.
Never. I think they traded they traded I think he was in the Dion trade because we got Dion Waiters. I forgot how we got Dion Waiters.
Because LeBron hated him.
He fit in perfectly on Oklahoma City. I love Dion.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Durant's betrayal. That started everything. Obviously, everybody knows what happens there. Then we finally got pieces. We got Paul George and Melo, and we beat them. It was triumphant. We beat them. And then we couldn't get by Utah in the first round because Carmelo couldn't play defense. But it's okay. We re-signed Paul George. You know, we're gonna run it back. We got a core for 3 years. And then Damian Lillard hit a game-winning shot that just destroyed us, and we didn't even have a chance in the series because Russell decided to piss him the fuck off. But yeah.
17 first-round draft picks.
This is true. This is the one positive.
I said it. I think Sam Presti's weirdly addicted to the first round. I think he'd rather have first-round draft picks than players on his team.
If that were true, Shea wouldn't be on the team.
That Durant betrayal pick turned into like 4 mini picks.
It's like because it's a whole web. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think Sam Presti's so insecure about his players now. He doesn't want people leaving, so he's going to trade them before they can leave now.
Hey, all I'm saying, there's one person, and I've been saying this for a couple years now. There's one person who can fix the Knicks outside them firing their owner, which I think will fix
Jackson.
No, Sam Presti. Sam.
I don't want Sam Presti. No.
I'm telling you, Sam Presti, and this is unfair because Leon has done a pretty good job so far. I think I liked his draft. Sam,
I like the draft, but his free agency could have been better.
Sam could fix them. You want to know why? Because Sam takes Russell Westbrook, who is considered an untradeable contract, turns him into 4 first-round picks. Takes Paul George, who you should have no value for, but he had value at the time.
He did have a lot of value at the time.
Yeah, and gets all that, including they almost got Shamet too. OKC was trying to get Shamet too. That would have been wild if they got Shea, Shamet, and those picks. That would have been crazy. But yeah, there's one guy in basketball, and that's Sam Presti.
I think Sam Presti got to draft you before I start saying he's a good GM now.
Have you seen his drafts? You do know he's responsible for the draft of Durant, of Westbrook, who Westbrook was.
Yeah, and how'd that turn out?
Steven Adams. What do you mean? How did that? He still drafted these people. I actually once looked up the people he's drafted.
I didn't know he drafted KD and Westbrook.
Yeah, he was responsible. Hold on. I can give you. He drafted Sabonis, who was a solid pick. I'm forgetting
last draft he had sucked.
Reggie. It was really the bad drafts were the 3 after Westbrook and Durant. They really they went for guys who were like, maybe they'll work out in 5 years type when they shouldn't have been doing that. Those were really bad.
The one this year sucked too. I didn't think they had a good draft this year too.
Oh, who? What? I think OKC did good in their
They
draft.
they drafted that one player. I remember texting you like, what the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, but this draft was like filled with questionable people.
That's true. All right.
I like it
Yeah.
because he has the highest potential out of that's what everybody was saying is that he's almost like Porzingis in potential wise. Not that he's going to be that good, but he has the potential to be like Porzingis. But
no, we're not getting into this.
He drafted Bledsoe, by the way.
Well, you won't hear me saying anything bad about Bledsoe. Wait, he drafted Bledsoe?
Yeah, he drafted Bledsoe. He drafted Harden.
And what, trading for a first-round pick?
I don't.
That's all I'm saying is Sam Presti.
I don't know what he traded him. Traded Bledsoe to the Clippers for actually, ironically, a pick.
Yeah, he's addicted to first-round draft picks. I don't understand why he wants all these draft picks. I don't know what it's going to end up to. Because how many of these picks are actually going to be good draft picks?
Not all of them, but the idea of it is get as many as you can because it's a lottery. You know, it's literally the definition of it is a lottery. Get as many as you can, and all you need to do, because you have Shea, all you need to do is hit on one, not two. Most people need 2 or 3 to at least come close to hitting on. He only needs to hit on one because you have Shea. And they also have Bazley's a good player. We'll wait and see. Bazley's a good player. And Dort is a good player. Obviously, people know who Dort is. If he learns how to shoot, Dort, I love Dort. I think I'm going to get a Dort jersey.
Everyone loves Dort.
Dort's the one that blocked James Harden, right?
Yes. And scored 30 points joined LeBron.
Yeah,
and
even wide open for 3.
I love Dort. Just good old Dort.
It's a hero. Dort was an Oklahoma City hero. And then, and we lost.
Ooh, do you know Dort and Jeremy's there?
Really?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Mm-hmm. All right. I think that does it here. I think I don't really have anything else to add unless you guys want to say something else.
I'm chilling.
Thank you for having us on.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I had to thank you for taking over that lazy bastard for 3 months of just talking. That's all he really does, But thank you for filling in his spot. I think you added a lot to what we needed.
If you ever, I can't speak for Billy, but if you ever need another fill or you just want a guest, I'm chilling.
Whenever something happens, I'll get you guys on. That's always what that usually happens. All right. We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.
See you.